Military Intelligence Chief Major General Aviv Kochavi made a secret visit 2 weeks ago to Washington and to UN headquarters in New York, where he discussed the Iranian nuclear program, the Syria crisis, and Hezbollah's increasing power in Lebanon. Kochavi met in Washington with senior White House and State Department officials, as well as senior officials in the Defense Department Intelligence Agency and the CIA. The Iran issue was a central focus of Kochavi's talks in Washington, where he discussed the progress of Iran's nuclear program and the status of the talks Iran is holding with the P5+1 nations about the program's future. According to Kochavi, the Israeli intelligence community has changed its stance on the future of Syrian President Bashar Assad's regime. Until a few months ago, Israel believed preserving the regime would serve Israel's interests, but now it believes Israel would be better served by Assad's removal from office. An Israeli advocacy group has won a $323 million judgment in a U.S. court against Iran and Syria for supporting Palestinian militants that killed an American teenager and 10 others in a 2006 bombing. The Shurat Hadin Israel Law Center was representing the family of 16-year-old Daniel Woltz of Florida, who was among 11 killed when an Islamic Jihad suicide bomber set off his explosives at a Tel Aviv restaurant 6 years ago. The judgment said that Iran supports the Islamic Jihad movement financially, while Syria had granted the group a haven to train in its territory. It is the first time an American court is holding the government of Syria accountable for its support of terrorism. Condoleezza Rice, who is Secretary of State under U.S. President George W. Bush, will visit Israel next week to take part in a conference on home front security. Rice, whose name has been mentioned as a possible Republican vice presidential candidate for presumptive Republican candidate Mitt Romney, is scheduled to meet with President Shimon Peres and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during her stay. Turkish authorities believe that they have found a bird used for espionage purposes by Israel. An investigation to that effect was launched in Ankara several days ago after a farmer discovered a dead Merops apiaster, commonly known as the European bee-eater, in his field. The bird had a ring reading Israel on one of its legs. The bird beak in question reportedly sported unusually large nostrils, which combined with the identification ring raised suspicions that the bird was implanted with a surveillance device and that it arrived in Turkey as part of an espionage mission. Arsenal midfielder Yossi Benayoun, who is coming to the end of his season-long loan from Chelsea, will play his final game for Arsenal on Sunday when the club takes on West Bromwich. According to the Arsenal website, Benayoun has been prominent in Arsene Wenger's first team since the beginning of April after waiting patiently for his chance following his loan move from Chelsea.